I'd rather be alone than be in bad company. Like, I'd rather be by myself than be surrounded by people who don't make me feel good, right? Anybody that I had the slightest bit of conversation with, I was like, yo, we might be friends now. Uh-oh. Hello, my name is Ty, and I'm gonna be talking to you guys about why I didn't have friends from 12 years old to 19 years old, okay? So, if you didn't know, I'm 20 now, and I didn't have friends for the majority of my teenage years, basically the whole time, okay? I recorded this video yesterday. I recorded this whole video yesterday, but I had little talking points about what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it. All these little things where I was like how I do with most of my videos, just to keep things organized, but I really just want to give you guys the most authentic version of this as possible, you know? No talking points, no whatever, you know? This is just raw, uncut, you feel me? It's not raw and uncut. I'm gonna edit some of it just so y'all don't just watch me looking around. Alright, so where do I begin, okay? The reason why I'm telling you guys this is because, you know, somebody, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, okay? I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who went through an experience like this, who feels lonely, who feels like they're alone, who feels like they don't have any friends, you know? Or who knows they don't have any friends, you know? Sometimes it's pretty obvious. But let me define what I mean as a friend, okay? A friend is somebody who, you know, you can talk to about your highest highs and your lowest lows, okay? They're going to be there regardless, and not only just listen, but they're going to try to help you with certain situations, right? A friend is somebody who, you know, it's not like you go to them for a pity party, but, you know, you're also there when you're enjoying their time a lot, you know? They'll listen to you no matter what, and you listen to them, you know? It's a mutual exchange. But it's not like, you know, I've had homies where it's like, hey, bro, if you get into something, I got your back. But it's not like I could go to them and say certain things because maybe they will laugh at me or judge me or whatever. Because I've always been really different from the people I call my homies or my friends, you know? We don't really have the same interests other than basketball, right? Basketball and females, you know, basketball and females, that's all we could really talk about, really. But outside of that, it's just empty conversation, you feel me? So let me start all the way back to 12th grade, okay? We're going all the way back to, not 12th grade, I said 12th grade. Not 12th grade, 12 years old in 6th grade, okay? So it's getting hot as hell, boy. Quickly, god damn, man, it was not this hot. All right, anyways, you know, 12 years old. I went from elementary school to middle school. I was like, yo, middle school is here, bro. Let's get it. I'm hyped. And it wasn't what I thought it was, okay? This was the first year, 6th grade was the first year I realized I had social anxiety. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I just knew that it was really difficult for me to talk to people, to converse with people. Like, I've never had a problem making friends until 6th grade when I was 12 years old, right? You know, my social skills deteriorated, and, you know, I was really anxious in social situations. I've always been like a shy, quiet, like soft-spoken kid, but this time it was like I was really scared of talking to people no matter what. All throughout middle school, from 6th to 8th grade, it was a repetitive cycle of me losing friends and not being able to gain new friends, right? I was losing friends from elementary school, from friends I grew up with, because, you know, when I came to middle school, it was a bigger school, so it was a lot of people who I went to elementary school with. They weren't there. I think a big reason as to why I started having social anxiety was because I really got addicted to video games, right? I was playing 2K and Call of Duty and all these different video games, and I didn't go outside much anymore, you know? Therefore, I didn't have much social contact with people. I would just close my door and play video games all day. I was addicted, bro. But, you know, it was what it was, man. But with my old friends, right? My old friends, they would try to dap me up in the hallways, right? They would try to dap me up, be like, hey, what's up, Ty? But I wouldn't want to dap them up because I didn't want them to bring any attention to me. Like I said, I had social anxiety, so I didn't want anybody to bring any attention to me out in, you know, where other people are around, right? I didn't want them to dap me up. I didn't want them to say my name. I didn't want them to try to talk to me, you know, in classrooms either, right? I had really bad problems when it came to conversing with people in any circumstance. Unless it was people who was in my neighborhood, those were the people I call my friends, right? People that lived in my neighborhood that I was just able to talk to just because, it wasn't that many people around. It was only like 5 of us, and it was like I already knew those people. So the more you do that, when people try to dap you up, when people try to talk to you in the hallways or whatever, and you just seem like you really don't want to talk to them, no matter what the reason is, they're going to stop trying, bro. And it wasn't because I had beef with them or anything. It was just something inside of me that just couldn't let me talk to them, So I was losing friends. And, I hate the way that it had to go, but it was what it was, you feel me? 8th grade, right? 6th and 7th grade was tough, but 8th grade, I moved schools. Not that I moved school districts, but there's a new middle school built for people who went to my elementary school, because the middle school that I went to was big as hell, bro. Like, that's a big reason as to why I got social anxiety. The school was big as hell, so many students there that I just felt, I don't even know, bro. I just felt uncomfortable just being there, bro. But 8th grade, it was a smaller school. It was a new school. It was people that I went to elementary school with. So I was like, bro, this is perfect. Just like elementary school. I had no problems making friends in elementary school. It's going to be just like that. And it was kind of like that. In 8th grade, I found a friend group, right? It was a group full of people who, it was about 6 of us, right? It was like 3 guys and 3 girls, something like that. Or it was 6 or 7. All I know is that it was a friend group, right? I was like, yo, I finally found a friend group. I found some friends, you feel me? I found some people that I feel like can understand me and can relate to me. And that's what I thought, kinda, but not really, man. Cause there was one guy in the friend group who was just really weird. He was a bully type of person, man. Like, as you get more comfortable with people, you start to show your true colors, and they start to show their true colors as well, right? So as I got more comfortable, I started talking to them a little bit more, and so over time, I realized that he was just a bully type of person. Like, he would put down everybody around him just to make himself look bigger, especially dudes. When it comes to being around females, dudes don't know how to act, bro. They just try to pick on you. They try to act super alpha masculine when, it's all cap, bro. They're putting on a show, basically. And that's what he was, I don't know if y'all remember Kick, bro, but back in the day, right, we used to use this thing called Kick, you feel me? I'm kind of old, so y'all youngins might not know about that. No, I'm playing, but, we used to be on Kick. We used to have a group chat or whatever. And then this specific homie, right, he would message me separately from the group chat and then ask me about, like, advice and stuff, like what should he do with, like, his relationship and whatever, And I would give him real genuine advice, because I've never been a mean, rude person at heart, bro. So I would give him genuine advice, and then we go back to the group chat, and then he's shit talking me again, right? He's calling me stupid. He's calling me annoying. He's calling me all types of things. He just wants me to look bad, no matter what I said, bro. Every single thing. I'm not even exaggerating. No matter what I said, if I said hi, how y'all doing, he'd be like, bro, look at this dude. He's stupid. Like, he really made me feel bad, bro. Like, as much social anxiety as I already had, bro, this just made it worse. Like, the people that I thought I could trust, finally, they just degrade me, right? And then everybody else in the friend group, they didn't really, nobody really stood up to him, and I felt so belittled. And this was a turning point in my life, right? Let me tell you why it was a turning point, okay? Even though I felt like there was something wrong with me because I still can't make no solid friends, I had the mindset at this point where it was like, I'd rather be alone than be in bad company. Like, I'd rather be by myself than be surrounded by people who don't make me feel good, right? So, I separated myself from this whole friend group, because I'm like, if this one person in the friend group is doing this to me and nobody else is really standing up to him, like, for me, or I'm not saying that people gotta fight my battles, but it's like, yo, aren't we all supposed to be cool with each other? So I was like, yo, this ain't where I'm supposed to be, man. I felt like this wasn't where I belong, man. And I've always felt really different. Like, my interests have always been different. My music taste has been different. Like, I'm wearing a Nirvana shirt right now, bro. It's not too many black people that you meet and then they gonna be like, oh, you listen to grunge music? Oh, that's dope. Like, I listen to all types of music, but my interests are just different, right? Just everything about me has stood out compared to those around me. my sense of humor, you know, like the reason why why a lot of people, well, the reason why he called me stupid is because of my sense of humor, right? My sense of humor, like I still use it to this day on my YouTube videos. It's like this kind of like, I don't know, like deadpan humor, but also like this naive type of humor. I don't know what you call it, bro, but I don't know, man. But I've always been really different, man. And this time I was, you know, I would sit by myself at the lunch table. I would separate myself from the friend group just so they don't talk to me. And, you know, I would eat by myself in lunch, you know. This was when we still had assigned lunch tables. But, so, you know, I was still at the table, but I just was not at their end of the table, you know. And in the classroom, I would sit on the other side of the classroom. And then even then, he would be talking shit about me from across the classroom. I'm like, yo, this ain't the life I want to live, man. This ain't what I want to surround myself with. So, you know, going to high school, I'm not sure how to feel about high school, you know, because high school is obviously bigger than middle school, and you know, I didn't know where this could go. You know, the first semester of high school, it was cool. I thought I found friends again, but at this time, you know, anybody that I had the slightest bit of conversation with, I was like, yo, we might be friends now. What, we walking past each other in hallways. He gonna say what's up to me. Oh shoot, we friends. He just dapped me. Like, I'll be so desperate at this point, cause I was like, damn, man, why does it feel like nobody likes me, man? Why does it feel like nobody appreciates me in my presence, you know? But you know, the first semester I came and I found some people who were kind of cool. You know, I had some associates. They weren't friends, they were just associates, because, you know, outside of that classroom, we might dap each other up and we might talk to each other like small talk or whatever. But, you know, when we go back home, I'm not texting these dudes, I'm not calling them up, trying to link or whatever. You know, throughout like high school and middle school, it might be people that I would link with and talk to outside of school, but it wasn't, like I said, they weren't people that I could call on and tell them like all these things that I might be going through, good or bad, you know. They were just people who you just did things with, right? And they were just another one of those, you know. They were people who I didn't talk to them outside of school, but in school, in the classroom, we would be cool, you know. It was like, you know, like I said with the last situation, like as you start to talk with these people a little bit more, the more comfortable you get. Both people get comfortable, and then I started being myself a little more, and then I realized that, I don't know, I just felt like they were annoyed by me. They didn't like my sense of humor, and once again they were calling me stupid. But it wasn't like it was in 8th grade, okay? They weren't as disrespectful. They weren't always shit talking me, right? It was just that word itself was like traumatizing to me. Like me being called stupid so many times by, you know, that one person, I'm not gonna lie, it really traumatized me, man. So anytime I heard people call me stupid, I was really believing like I'm not a smart person. You know, growing up in elementary school, I've always been told like, oh, you're such a smart kid. You're going to go to like these Ivy League schools and stuff. You're all this stuff, right? And then all of a sudden 8th grade hits, and then, you know, I'm being called stupid. And, you know, they're not the only person. You know, all I know is that I was being called stupid, and it was more than by one person. So I was like, damn, I'm not a smart person. What is wrong with me, right? So this really made me want to change myself. I started talking even less, and I've always been an introverted, very non-talkative person, you know. I've never been a person to try to talk too much, but at this point I tried to change myself. I started putting my foot in my mouth, you know, just whenever I wanted to say something, I didn't say it. Cause I'm like, whenever I get comfortable with somebody, they always seem to betray me, you know. They always seem to degrade me, disrespect me, all these things, right? I also developed a stuttering problem at this time. You know, even people who I was cool with since 1st grade, you know, I wasn't able to talk to them anymore, because I was like, we just don't relate on many things, you know. So I'm feeling a real disconnect with the people that I keep on thinking are my friends, you know. So I started, whenever I started talking, I would stutter, and I would be really, really quiet, more quiet than I've already been, you know. So it was a really hard time for me, man, to be honest. And like I said, I would rather be by myself than be in company that wasn't for me, that didn't appreciate me. Sometimes I would settle because I was like, maybe it's something wrong with me. But it'll come to a point where I just didn't associate with that type of energy, you know? So it was like I went back to being very isolated, being alone. When it came to lunchtime, it was some people that I could talk to, you know, at the lunch tables or whatever. Like we would talk about basketball or we would talk about, you know, video games or whatever. But I would say at least 50% of the time that I was in high school, when it came to lunchtime, that was the time that I was the most anxious. I sat by myself. 50% or more of high school, I sat by myself. I didn't sit with anybody else. I'd rather be by myself than be around people who don't want me there, who don't appreciate me there, or who I just don't want to be around, you know? Because sometimes when I was around associates, they would be hanging around somebody else that I don't really want to be around, or I just don't like. I would either be in the cafeteria by myself, or I would go to an empty classroom, or whatever, just walk around the school, or what else would I do? Just stand in the bathroom, be on my phone, just anything but to be in there. I would try to avoid the cafeteria by all costs because it was such a big area. That shit gave me so much anxiety just being in that place, you know, being in a big wide open place full of people. That just don't make me feel comfortable, you feel me? But you know, I said I didn't really have friends, but I did have some females that I kind of talked to, you know. They would just be like fun conversationalists, and most of them didn't go to my school, so I would just be texting them throughout the day and then call them when I get home. But you know, it would just be just fun conversation more than anything. It wasn't no deep serious stuff because I didn't feel comfortable telling them like some real serious stuff. You know, I would just be just flirting basically. You know, so I guess that helped me in a way. The fact that I didn't have friends, but I still had people who I could have those types of conversations with. But you know, I still felt like I had like nobody really understood me, you know, for whatever reason, you know. I mean, obviously a big part of it has to do with my social anxiety and my lack of social skills, but also, you know, me not getting out of my comfort zone that much. And also just the universe just deciding it's not the right time for me to have friends, you know. My freshman year in college, it was more of the same. I'm not gonna lie, this whole time it was very painful. You know, feeling like nobody really messes with me. But at the same time, it taught me so much about myself because there's a lot of people who don't get to know themselves on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, you know, because they spend so much time surrounding themselves with other people in social groups, you know. There's a lot of people who have big social groups and they're always talking to somebody, they're always around somebody, they're always in some type of public setting or some social setting, but they never spend time by themselves, and they never give themselves the time to do that inner work, that introspection period, you know. They don't have that. And you know, it was a blessing for me. It was a blessing in disguise for me to be able to do that, you know. You know, when it did come to lunch, I would like the other 50% of the time I would be around people who I guess I could talk about sports or video games and stuff. But that other 50, when I was just by myself, I would be researching stuff, you know. I would always be curious. I was curious about psychology, the male to female dynamic, just random stuff, you know. Just always gaining knowledge basically, you know. I was always learning something. There's been like, I could almost count it on my hands how many days passed by where I didn't learn something, where I didn't go out of my way to learn something, because I've always loved learning, you know. And I really valued that alone time when I was able to learn stuff. I was able to learn about things outside of myself, like certain things, certain topics that I was interested in, as well as learning more about myself, you know, having respect for myself, being able to walk away from certain situations where I feel like people don't respect me or don't appreciate me, and learning what makes me feel like what, you know, what certain things make me feel a certain way. I was learning so much about myself, and a lot of people aren't able to do that. And I realized that, you know, it just wasn't time for me to have friends, at least not those type of friends, you know. It just wasn't time, you know. The universe said, hey, Ty, not right now, not yet, okay? You know, even though I wanted friends, I wanted to feel wanted. Everybody wants to feel wanted on some type of level. You know, everybody wants to, have a significant other to some extent, or have some friends that want them. Just everybody, we're human beings, man. We're here put on this earth with other human beings, which means that it's just natural for us to want to feel appreciated or wanted by other people. And that was something that I was really battling. And then, like, now I feel like I'm really appreciated. If I didn't go through those pains, I wouldn't be able to help you guys, to help people who ask me certain questions. And then now I have the experience. I have experience, and I learned so much in that time because I was able to be by myself. And if I was surrounding myself with bad influences, chances are I would be a product of them. There's a lot of people who I called my associates or my friends at that time who, now they're doing things that I wouldn't even want to be a part of. I'm doing a lot better than, not to compare myself to other people, but I know what I'm doing right now is it's a bigger purpose. It's not just me going with the flow of life. It's me taking control of my life finally. If I didn't go through that pain, I wouldn't know what it feels like to just go with the flow and feel like my life is pointless and meaningless. So that drives me a lot more in my life. But yeah, the universe was protecting me from bad influences, man. And it wasn't until I started doing this YouTube thing where I found people who I feel like I can actually call my friend, who I feel like won't just throw me to the side, who are actually positive people, who are actually doing positive things with their life, who don't see it as like, who actually appreciate me, man, like who actually appreciate my sense of humor, who, are there for me when I'm talking about my highest highs and my lowest lows. But that time of me being alone was really for me to learn, like gain a lot of wisdom, I've gained a lot of wisdom just in that period from 12 years old to 19 years old. I've gained so much wisdom, so much knowledge, and I'm able to help people now. So I don't regret that. I don't regret that whole period because I know that it helps me give you guys something of value, Like, you guys probably can relate to me a little bit more because of the things that I went through, and I can relate to you guys as well. We can relate to each other because, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who's felt like they haven't had friends, I'm probably not the only person who felt like they've been alone for a majority or a good portion of their life, or feel like they're alone now. People go through different things at different times, but, the fact that I've went through it, and I've came out on the other side, and I know what got me there, It was me getting out of my comfort zone, me doing things that, kind of go against the grain, but I know it's for a brighter, a bigger purpose, and me being a positive person throughout all the negativity and all the pain that I went through, I feel like this happens to the chosen ones, Things like this happen to people who are just chosen by the universe to have a bigger purpose, You're going to go through some pains. You're going to go through some uncomfortable, unpleasant situations. But it's probably because, you need to have this wisdom to help somebody else, You were chosen by the universe to have a bigger purpose, to do something great in this world. And, appreciate it, Find the positive, find the pros, as tough as it might be. Find the pros, find the positives, and, always keep on trying to get out of your comfort zone and do things that are right, regardless of, the situation, regardless of how people might try to make you feel. What's right inside of you, Listen to your intuition at all times. And just trust the process, man, because I'm at a much greater I'm at a much greater part in my life now than I've ever been. This is the best I've ever been in my entire life. And now I'm not a needy person. I'm not a desperate person. If nobody in this world messed with me, of course I would want to feel wanted and everything. But I know that I can make it because, I've done it. I've lived and felt like I was alone for a long time. And, now I'm doing something that's fulfilling my purpose. I'm doing something that's positive, that's helping people. And I'd rather do that than surround myself with people who don't add any value to me or the world,